have anxiety.
Well,
I mean, always need to be doing something.
And it's not necessarily that it's either one. It isn't either one of your faults. It's the way that society programs us to have this drive, and it's based on consumerism. Make money so you can spend it. To make money so that the world can turn.
Our attention span is terrible, especially in the music industry and movies. That if we're not entertained by the first 5 seconds, we're out.
Well, look at what they have on social media now. They have 3-second views. You get credit for a view that if someone tunes in for 3 seconds.
Remember Vines? 7 seconds.
Yeah,
that's all you had.
And this is the thing: is our attention span as a race is actually less than a goldfish at this point in time.
Wow, that's incredible.
So for us to be going,
I love them.
I know.
They're so cute.
This is the thing, though, is that a lot of people have said to me, they say, your podcast too long, and I said, no, it's not. You just need to work on patience. For an hour.
The problem is everyone needs to work on the patience.
Everyone needs to work on the patience, but that's what this is for. I don't give a fuck if people tune in and tune out. Hopefully, you got what you needed. Piss off, or come back. We love you.
But everything is so instantaneous.
Not all our guests. We love you. But like, if you're bored, then
stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it, Sean.
If you get bored, you can capably go somewhere else. I listen. I mean, if you look at Howard Stern, king of media, we'll say, I listen to his station for a bit. Sometimes I'll turn it right off.
I couldn't get into it.
No,
he annoyed me.
Okay,
really?
Yeah, he's amazing interviews. Yeah, but a lot of his comedy was very basic and fart humor. Mm-hmm. Very like.
Well,
I love that term.
His demographic isn't meant to be like
very very high intelligent people.
Well, you said it, not me. But anyway,
I don't care. That's how I feel. And it's not to really insult anybody.
No,
but I'd much rather listen to a Joe Rogan podcast because he actually has people on that blow my fucking mind.
Sure. Well,
but sometimes people like light listening, right? They don't necessarily want to get deep and really into life.
You don't have to get deep to learn.
No, that's true. I agree with that.
Right?
You're absolutely right.
If I'm cleaning my place, I'll put a podcast on about biophysics that I don't know anything about. Or or Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about quantum physics.
Yeah.
And I will retain some of the things that I hear.
Quantum physics is awesome.
Unbelievable.
Love it. It's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But, anyways, back to...
ADHD. But this is why a podcast is sometimes, and that's the one thing I do enjoy about podcasts, is because you can have a subject... And you're open to fucking change it and take it another direction.
Well, it's a natural conversation. And these days, like I've sat down there, and I think I listened to you and Vedran last week after a podcast, and we'd start on something, and I'd be ready to finish, but you guys already had another conversation going, and I'm like, all right, we're going on to the next one.
That's what happens in life, especially with podcasts.
It is life. It's people at the bar. It's everywhere. Yeah. I mean, it's not just you, but this is between... The reason I set this up is so that I can have meaningful, deep conversations with people that I've cared about in my life, and we can just reconnect without the distraction of cell phones.
Me.
You are a distraction, but you're an interesting one.
You are. A distraction.
Well, I got to keep them. You can't always have. You got to have things lighted. You got like the guest laughing is always a good thing.
100%. Yeah.
I just love the fact that there's this great conversation happening in these podcasts, and it's like not everybody has a minute to think about what they're saying. Like, it's actually a real conversation.
Organic.
It is.
You know, like
that's why I started it. Right?
That's what I find now. I just find as generations get younger and younger, because I'm always working with people younger and younger. I'm like, okay, you don't have time to think about this.
Yeah,
you just have to do things.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like because that's how it is in front of your phone, right? You have all this time to be like, okay, he said this, so I'm going to say. No. Okay, this one's good, right?
Yeah,
like it's like no.
Can you imagine we do that in person?
Oh my god!
Just you ask them a question and just stand there and just like wait for it. Give me a sec.
And they start, and then and then you can see them like backspace.
Yeah, backspace
in their mind.
You ask them a question, it takes them 30 seconds to answer. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
Just wait. Okay. This is why. You're like, what the fuck just happened?
It's just like there's no quick on your feet anymore.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. You don't need to be. You have the time to... And it's not helping matters that like they have on Tinder and all these dating apps sort of ways that you need to grab people's attention by...
You swipe. You fucking swipe nowadays. You don't even have to talk to people. You just swipe yes or no.
But then
I've never been on Tinder.
No,
I don't even know what the app looks like.
I think it's just a little piece of fire. I think is that
you swipe
I appreciate traditional dating methods.
I do too.
You think I'm cute? Come talk to me. Maybe I'll give you my number.
Sure, and
absolutely, that's good. That's
I kind of like
old
that.
Fashioned, and that's what it should be nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask you based off interviewing people, like since you've done the podcast, do you find that your day-to-day interactions with people have changed?
Not necessarily. I mean, this is where I find that I can have the deepest, more meaningful conversations, because there's something about talking into the microphone, having the headphones on, and knowing that there's no distractions and we're recording. People are, everyone that I've had on here has been very genuine. At least I see it as being genuine.
12, yeah, I agree.
But without that distraction, like in everyday life, even though I might be into the conversation, I can't stop someone from pulling out their phone and interrupting the talk that we're having, however deep I might be feeling about it. It's clearly, if that happens, I'm not interesting enough, and that's fine. We'll end the conversation. So...
I pull my phone out all the time when I have it on me, and not even with that thought process in my head.
Right. Well,
I'm really interested in what you're saying, but it's just
you could be. Natural. But the thing is that I know after all the like. Keep in mind, I haven't had a drink in a long time. Right. It's been over a year and a half. It's been a year and like what month are we? A year and 8 months.
18 months, buddy.
Were you worried he was going to take it?
What?
Were you worried he was going to take
it? No.
He just wanted to point out the fact that
it was just too close. It was too close. Okay,
But during that time, I read a lot. I learned as much as I possibly could.
You're a different person.
I think so. I think I totally am. And I honestly, I credit to the fact that I had to find other things to fill my time with other than drinking and socializing.
Yeah.
But during that period, for me, I realized that there is no such thing as multitasking. People, if you think you can multitask, you're full of shit. It's not possible for a human to do two things at once.
No.
You can try, but you're really bouncing back really quickly between the two, which isn't helping your attention span at all.
Yes, I agree with you. Yes and no.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Yes and no.
Okay.
Like someone singing and playing guitar at the same time.
Yeah, but that's totally different. That's using a creative side of your brain.
It's subconscious.
Right? Yeah.
We're now exposed now, and we're conditioned to do things without even subconsciously. That's how fucking often we're on our phone and doing social media that we're doing something on our social media while having a conversation. That's how bad it's getting. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but you're getting to the point where.
But I think when you're on social media while you're having a conversation, you're not actually you're not engaged in the conversation.
No, you might
there's absolutely no engagement. You're in and out all the time.
You are in and out.
It takes a different part of your brain to be able to play the guitar and sing at the same time.
I still can't sing and play the guitar at the same time.
It takes a different part of your brain. And what we're conditioning to is now we're being able to do things while paying attention, not successfully, but still on a normal level where we'd be able to do these things and multitask with a different part of our brain where we're not ever had to before. Now,
that's interesting.
We yet to see, but I don't agree with it socially. But it's happening.
I think that like there's just right now we've had these talks before about social media.
I love these talks. They're the best talks we have.
Yeah, and I think that like the social media side of things, we're trying to use it, and I'll tell you this. He
pointed. He never points.
It got brought to my attention by, and I'll give her a shout out, by Kate, my dance teacher. I'm doing this for those of you that don't know. I'm doing dancing.
Please plug.
Okay,
got attention, please.
Easter Seals, and Fred Astaire Dance Studios.
Mike Schultz, the owner. Shout out.
There you go. And Kate is the one. Kate Whippy is her name, and she's training. I think it's Whippy. I apologize if I messed that up. But she's teaching. She's my dance. I'm doing Dancing with the Stars, but for London.
That's cool.
Now,
that's very cool.
What style are you learning?
I am learning the cha-cha and the waltz. My dances.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Did you get to pick your style?
No, she picked it for me, and she totally crushed it. Michael Jackson. I'm doing Billie Jean, cha-cha to Billie Jean. And
when is your debut?
When is it?
Yeah,
in September. You'll know. I'll
I just need to prepare myself for this.
It's a
contest.
Need to be available. Yeah, it's a contest.
Your dance partner is going to be wearing a GoPro. I guarantee you that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she will be now.
Okay. And then the second dance, the waltz, is James Bond. What the hell is it? Like
What movie?
I don't know. Name some of the theme songs.
I can give you every one of them.
It was one of the more recent ones.
Goldeneye?
Not Goldeneye. More recent than that.
You Know My Name?
No.
Your James Bond knowledge is incredible.
Is it? I retain everything.
I can't remember, but
is it Skyfall?
Skyfall.
Boom.
Oh no, it's not. I don't think.
Adele?
Maybe. Fuck. We haven't really gone over that one. Let me get back to you.
Is it piano?
I don't know. I haven't even really heard it yet. We've been more focusing on the cha-cha than Michael Jackson.
Okay.
But anyways, back to the original point. Kate, she sat me down and she's like, I love your podcast because there's this, online there's this sort of highlight reel. And I said, yeah, it's a highlight reel of everybody. And she said, but you're like this authentic siege surfacing against the bullshit. I was like,
good.
Yeah.
Is that
I'm like, authentic siege? I'm like, I fucking love that.
Wow.
Right? Like we're waging war on the bullshit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And being like, call out the fucking nonsense, right?
Yeah,
like
totally.
we all have mornings we don't want to get out of bed.
Like we're wolves,
we all have, we all exactly wolves. Speaking of which, we're going to be starting a second podcast, which is we're going to be equal hosts of the show.
Yeah.
I like that.
And it's going to be...
This is his show right now. I just kind of add a little shit.
Your adding is great.
Thank you.
There's certain things that you're not going to... I mean, I've talked to him about certain topics that I will get into. He knows you. He knows a lot of the guests that come on. But there isn't anyone between the two of us we don't know in the city.
So far. Actually, we're surprised with this.
Yeah. But
you two are surprised the two of you don't know
every guest he's had on, we've just... I mean, like, I know them. Like, on a first-name basis, like he said, Voula, I'm like, yeah, I know. I'll see her. I'll say hi.
Sure, yeah. Absolutely.
It's not like a problem of me ever being a part of the podcast because I already know the guest.
Yeah. But if I knew there was a story coming out of someone that came on the show and they wanted to talk about a time when they had a suicide attempt or something like that,
right. They don't know me.
That might be something that he might not want to be a part of, and that's why I ask you: is it okay if he partakes?
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so that being said, let's go back into that sort of realm.
You were actually you didn't finish what you were saying
about what?
Well, the wolf.
About the wolf. Do you want me to? I was going to ask you. Do you want me to do that here? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it another day.
Yeah,
let's reveal it. Maybe
do the intro.
Okay, yeah. We've got some big things coming.
I just thought you weren't done. I thought you were headed that way.
I was, but I wanted to check with you.
Fair enough. That's good. That's good.
So, anyways, we do have a guest here. Let's focus on the guest.
I love the banter between the two. It's amazing.
Sometimes it's filler, right?
Amazing.
So let's get back to the mindset. I want to talk to you about what kind of mindset you and sort of what you mentally went through when you were rebuilding after this. Would you say this was the toughest relationship you've ever been through?
Totally.
By far.
100%.
And was that one of the worst places you've been in your life?
100%.
Okay. And how you've never ever had the thought of suicide or anything like that, have you?
No.
It's just,
I just my brain isn't in that capacity.
Right.
And I think that
good way to put it.
As stuck as I got, I knew that there was always going to be a way out. Or there was going to be a way to fix things, and I still had the support of the people around me. And regardless of whatever that was, at whatever degree that support was, I just knew that there were people around me that loved me.
Sure.
Is it fair to say you loved life? You just didn't like the way yours was going?
Yeah.
Sure.
And you know what? When you come from a situation where things are really great, and you're like, in this temporary moment where things are not great, you can go, okay, I got to get back to this. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, this is not my life. You know,
so suicide was the furthest thing away you wanted.
I never even thought of it.
Yeah. The reason I ask is because he's obviously put that out there, right? Like suicide was a topic that was brought up, and I was like, sometimes if people beat you down enough, you can think like, am I contributing to this planet? Would the world be better without me? But the world would never be better without you. And I'm glad you never thought that. But people do. And I've thought it before. I mean, when I've been, So, I mean, especially at a younger age. And it's like, no one's obviously, especially when the media is beating you up and you're like, holy shit, am I really that big of a piece of shit? And sometimes you have to take a look at yourself and make some changes. And then you start to enjoy life again. But
wow.
Yeah.
That's something we'll get into another time.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I never really had those feelings because I think I was surrounded by a lot of people that just were really reminded me that this is probably not really my fault.
Right.
So I think when you have a really good support group, you just tend not to go down that road.
Good.
It seems as though you had love everywhere else but where it should have been.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
That's exactly it. That's totally it.
Yeah.
Like my parents are amazing. I have everyone says that their friends are amazing, but I have incredible friends. And I think I have incredible friends because I had a lot of friends that knew what was happening, knew that they really couldn't do anything, but tried to be supportive as best as they could. Just knowing because me deciding to leave was my own personal decision. There was no one. Yeah, it has to be. No one can force you out of this situation. You have to mentally say, "I'm done."
Yeah.
And I think that it's incredible that I am still friends with these people, and they tolerated kind of everything that was happening around me, right? Because they tolerated it to the extent of, like outbursts of things that were happening in front of everybody, and they were like, "Oh shit, what do we do?"
Exactly.
Or like people coming to our house to try and resolve issues or whatever, right? Like, I mean, there's been tons of times where people had to come over and just kind of.
Quick question for you now. Since you had people always being mediators in your life, do you find that's where you got your skill set to be a mediator?
I don't know that I've ever actually thought about that, but probably. I think that
helped.
It probably helped, and I think part of me also just feels like, well, because I've always kind of or since this has happened, I've looked to two sides of every story. Maybe that's perhaps where I'm kind of get my mediation skills. But I've never really thought about it consciously.
The second part to that is that you're obviously very successful. You're driven. You're doing well for yourself.
Thanks.
That's one of the reasons I wanted to have you here, because you've always been that way, even in the toughest of times.
Okay, so that actually answers my question.
Yeah,
because I want to know that you think that how successful you are and how driven you are, the girl that was in that relationship would have done the same thing you're doing now, or be able to do it.
Okay, if I was still in that situation today,
but would you be able to be as strong as you are? And
no.
See, there you go. Yeah,
no,
so
totally not. I don't think that I think I would have collapsed at some point. I think I would have gone into a full shutdown mode.
Yeah.
I don't think that I could have actually continued on mentally and emotionally.
And just in the fatigue. You said your body
and physically.
Physically.
I don't think I could have actually made it through.